We are privileged to have Kadlec Neurological Resource Center represented today, and we have Karen Hayes and Kathy Manderbaugh and Sue Pinard, and they're going to help us. I know. Sorry. They are going to talk to us about aging, normal aging versus not normal aging. And I did tell them I will diagnose myself with Alzheimer's by the time they're finished, and they reinforced that I will not. So, you guys. So anyway, I'm going to turn it over and let them have it. I don't know.
Thank you so much, Corey. We really appreciate the opportunity to be here today. And I believe the title was, Am I Losing My Mind? Isn't it amazing how we can fill a room with a title like that? And so I sat down here a little earlier and I heard a woman ask the lady next to her, "What are we here for?" I thought that was funny. So I am Kathy Manderbaugh. I'm the outreach specialist at Kadlec Neurological Resource Center. How many of you heard of Kadlec Neurological Resource Center before? If I could see a raise of hands. Awesome. Okay, we have quite a few. There's also quite a few of you that didn't raise your hand, so I'm going to take a minute just to let you know about Kadlec Neurological Resource Center. We are located inside the Kadlec Healthplex, which is at 1268 Lee Boulevard. And we have a library there. And so our services include keeping a current library, and that's thanks to our donors, our sponsors, and our members, and also our wonderful volunteers that help us man the library when us 3 part-timers and our wonderful full-time executive director, Karen, can't be there. So we are just grateful to our community support. The services that we have there, we do several support groups for various neurological disorders, and we also do educational programs such as this that we're doing today. And we do, have any of you heard of the autism conference that the Tri-Cities does? That is our event, and it has grown. It is now the Northwest Autism Conference, and we also do an annual Caregivers Conference, and we'll have more information about that, but that's coming up. Our first series is on June 28th. So aside from the educational programs and support groups, we also publish the Neurotransmitter, which is our newsletter, and in that has a wonderful calendar that will connect you to our support groups. Maybe after listening to us today, you might feel that you may want to attend those. And it also will tell about the upcoming educational programs, and it usually has a story about somebody that has utilized our services and that has been positively impacted by our services. So the question is, does Kadlec have a good neurosurgeon? So the Kadlec Neuroscience Center has our neurosurgeons. So, yeah. Get this going. So today, what we're here for is normal versus not normal aging, to do some comparisons. We hope that you have some takeaways. We have a lot of information to get through really fast, and so we encourage you to come visit us at the library to get further information. And if you don't get the opportunity to get your questions answered here with us today, please come on into the library. We are there Monday through Thursday from 9 until 4, or 9 till 5, and on Fridays 9 until 4. And so, like I said, we have wonderful volunteers and staff that's always up in the library to help answer questions and get you connected to resources that may help in the community. And we also have, besides the books, we have brochures, free brochures on a wall that will just give you some basic information or get you connected to other resources that you may need. So what we are here today to learn, and what we'll go over a little bit, is on the normal and not normal aging related differences related to cognitive function. And then we'll talk, Karen's going to talk, and Sue, a little bit about sensory input processing systems, how they work, and then how those systems change due to dementia and aging. So Teepa Snow is who we're going to be, is helping us today. Karen and Sue and I have been trained. We are officially certified as positive approach to care educators through Teepa. Teepa advocates for those living with dementia and has made it her personal mission to help the people, the patients and their families and caregivers, and to help them understand what it's like to have your brain changing. I encourage you, because I don't have a lot of information to go through and tell you all about Teepa, because she's such an amazing person. You can get more information about her on her website, which is teepasnow.com. And this is her business that she started. That is her logo, the Positive Approach to Care. And she started this in 2005. And Teepa comes with 30 years of experience as an occupational therapist in the clinical setting. And so she is a dementia care education specialist. And she is making a difference, one mind at a time. So another thing I want to tell you before we get, what we're going to do is some videos, and you're going to see Teepa. Luckily, you don't have to listen to me all day. And I want to just let you know she's very energetic, very entertaining, but she also comes with a little bit of colorful language. And I think that she doesn't realize that we're here in a church today doing this, but so I'm asking for forgiveness. But I think she does that to demonstrate some of the cognitive changes that will come along in the difference between normal and not normal aging. So with that, I think we're ready to get started with the video.
What we're going to talk about now is the difference between normal aging and not normal aging. Now understand, I did not say dementia. I just said normal aging, not normal aging, because one of our big misconceptions in this country is that if it's not normal aging, it's going to be dementia. And that's not true. So we've got to get that one off the table. So what I'm going to do very quickly is give you two quick little role plays that are going to take you through normal versus not normal. So I'll do normal first. I'm in the living room. And I've been watching a TV program, and the program finishes, and I decide, you know what? I'm thirsty. I think I'm going to go make a pot of coffee. And I head toward the kitchen to make coffee. But before I get all the way in the kitchen, the telephone rings. And so I answer the telephone. Hello? Oh, hey, sweetheart. How have you been? Well, yes, of course I know who it is. It's, right on the tip of my tongue. Starts with a B. Betty. Of course it's Betty. Sorry. Recognized your voice right away, just couldn't think of your name. Yeah, senior moment. Huh? What? Oh, no, I'd love to get together. Oh, today? Okay, what? At 2? This afternoon? All right. Oh, at the mall. Okay, well, which end? Macy's. Oh, that's where J.C. Penney's was, right? They moved out and then I know what you're talking about. Absolutely. The menswear, is that the same? Yep, I know where to be. 2 o'clock, I'll be there. Wait right inside the door. I'll be waiting right inside that door. It's supposed to be a little chilly this afternoon. Yeah. Huh? What? Oh, they opened a new chocolate store. Oh. Well, you know me. You know what I'm going to get. I'll get caramels. I always get caramels. You're going to get I know you like the white flaky stuff in the chocolate. Yes, coconut, of course. That's you. Huh? Oh, no, I'll be happy to call and see if Margaret wants to come. That'd be great. Yeah. Oh, the vacation pictures? Oh, yeah, I'll bring them. Wait till you see yourself in that bathing suit. Oh, I was just kidding. Just teasing you. You know how I am. Such a teaser. She's getting fat. I'm not going to say it, but she sure is getting fat. Okay. Huh? What? No, I didn't say anything. I was just talking to myself, writing a note. All right, sweetheart. Well, I'll see you then. Love you. Okay, bye-bye. What did I come in here for? Okay, hang on. Let me think here. I was in the living room. I was watching the TV. Program ended. Telephone. Betty hadn't called. I'd been able to remember. Okay, let me think on this. Was it here? Okay. I was in the living room. I was sitting right here. Okay, and the program ended, and I thought, God, man. Okay. Coffee. Why could I not think of that? Lord knows I'm losing it. Now, all of you have gone dead silent because all of your brains are going, oh shit, I have this. Every single one of your brains is going, oh my God, oh my God. And your brain is going, that's not dementia, that can't be dementia. I don't think that's dementia, that's just normal. Isn't that normal? I think that's normal. Your brain is talking to itself. One side is going, I think you've got dementia. No, she didn't say that was dementia. I think she said that was just not normal. I think that was okay. That happens every single time. The room gets dead silent because if you just think old people are worried about this crap, no, we're all concerned. Because you're going, I think I've done that. I did that just yesterday. What you've totally forgot, because in that moment your brain was going, is I said that was normal. I was going to do normal first. So here's what I think I better do. Do this. Roll your shoulders. I think we better do it one more time. You need to let it go. Breathe out all the way because you guys were going. And by the end, your brain's going, shit, oh my God, you've got it. I told you. I told you it's not just stress. I didn't think it was just stress. I told you it was just. Especially when I had to come back and sit in the chair. You were going, oh my God. So. Now what you just did is drop your cortisol level. Because I raised it up just a little bit. I didn't mean to. You did it yourself. I actually didn't have anything to do with it. I tried to warn you it was normal to start with, but you totally forgot. Because your brain was going, symptom, symptom, symptom. I have it. You're hypo, just a little bit.
Okay, so that cortisol hormone that causes stress can interfere with your memory at times. So it's really good to try to remember to do that. So in the video clip, was any of that familiar? Any of that type of thing happened to any of you in the past? Okay. So does somebody want to give me an example of what they saw in the video that makes them feel that sometimes makes them worried that they're not aging normally? Does anybody want to share? Does it really kind of make you freak out sometimes when you can't think of people? Go ahead. I'll repeat for you.
I do that with I can't remember a word or a person's name, and I'll say it starts with a B or it starts with a C. I know what it is. Give me 5 minutes. And usually within 5 minutes, it'll come around. But
That's a great example.
I'm told that is normal.
It is.
Not to worry about.
And I love that you ask people to give you the time, that 5 minutes. So not sure if everybody heard what she said, but there are times when she can't think of the word. She can think of the first letter. And so she'll ask for permission, like, I'll get it. Just give me a few minutes. And so that is really leads into, well, in our conversation today, because that is a pointer for what we would do with our friends as we're normally aging, is to be patient and ask for time. So that's really good.
I'm her other half, so I'm that's going from one room to another, and you're thinking about something else on the way. I mean, the phone rings. I get there. Why the heck did I come in here? So what do? I go back to where I started, and remember what I was doing, and it usually works.
So he was explaining the process of having too many things going on at one time and then trying to have to backtrack to the beginning.
I just have one comment on that. It's the multitasking issue, and multitasking doesn't really exist. Our brain is serial. When we think of this, we can't think of something else, right?
Correct.
And so when we say multitasking, we don't really think simultaneously of two things at the same time. It's absolutely impossible.
And some of us,
She wasn't able to recall the water.
the coffee.
Multitasking, now that is not an aging process, that's the way we were created. And you can get an idea of the people that tried this and why we have so many accidents and stuff.
Good point. Great point. We have time for one more. Go ahead. Does that happen to any of you? She's sharing where you don't remember the name and you go to introduce your spouse to a person and the name just leaves you. I don't think you're alone there. I don't think you're alone. So, what are some of these are great examples, and I appreciate you guys giving me some input and some feedback here. What are some things we can do to help when those things happen? Does anybody have?
One of the things I've never been shy about is if I can't remember a name, I just ask the person.
That's awesome. So she said that she just asked people their name. We wouldn't be offended if someone asked what our name was. Making sure you're paying attention? Is that what you said?
No, they say that reason that you don't remember names is you're not paying attention when they say their name. I ask a lot of times, what's your name?
Okay. So one of the things that Tifa taught us to try to remember is that our memory naturally only can remember 5 to 8 things at a time. And so an idea is making lists. And, with technology, we can use our phones to give ourselves reminders. And as was heard here earlier, is slow down and not have too many things going on at the same time. It's easier said than done, at my work anyway. But just trying to think your day through when you wake up in the morning is helpful. And have a plan. Not that they're not going to be the interruptions, like the phone call ringing, and that throws us off track. There are many things that can throw us off track, but I'm here to let you know that that's natural. Forgetting people's names, forgetting the word. You heard her say white fuzzy when she was trying to explain coconut. That's all natural. So we can be patient with our friends and those that we're caring for when they're trying to explain something or names. And we can wear name tags, and we can try to remember to identify ourselves in the first place. Just reach out your hand and say, I'm Kathy, even if you think they should know who you are. So it's natural to hesitate a little more, be slower to do. And remembering, like if you're giving somebody directions, you may want to give them like the church on the corner. You might want to give them something to identify where they need to be instead of just giving street names. It's beside something. She did that when they were talking about the mall. So I had the fun part of talking about normal, and my time is telling me it's time for Sue Pinard, our resource specialist, to come up, and she's going to give you some examples of not normal aging.
So we'll go ahead and watch a video first, and then we will go ahead and talk about it. And I think you'll really notice some differences between the normal and the not normal.
So let me show you not normal. I'm in the living room and I've been watching TV and the program ends and I said, well, you know what? I think I'll go make something to drink because I want something hot. I'll make some of the stuff that you get, coffee. That's it. Gonna make it. Phone rings. Hello? Hey, sweetheart. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Who is this exactly? Betty who? Oh. Well, why didn't you say? Okay. Well, what do you want? Me today? Well, why do you wait till the last minute? I wish you'd tell me ahead of time. Well, I don't remember you talking about it at Bridge. Did you talk about it at Bridge? Well, you talk all the time at Bridge. Your mouth runs incessantly. Huh? Well, okay, I don't mean to be mean, but you just talk a lot. That's all. What? Oh, you want to meet at the mall? Okay, well, that's fine. Which end? 2 o'clock? Yeah. Macy's? Well, honey, I don't think there's a Macy's at that mall. Where's there a Macy's? No, that's a J.C. Penney's. It's a J.C. Penney's. I have a card with them. I have a credit card with them. I know what it is. I buy things there. What do you mean they moved out? No, I shopped there not long ago. There's no way they moved out. Did they just close up? Well, good Lord. No, that's still, you sure? I think you're wrong. Well, fine, I'll meet you at that end. I know where you're talking about then. Huh? Inside the men's, well, of course I know where inside the menswear is, but you better get to the right store. You're not going to be there. Huh? All right, well, fine, whatever. What? Oh, they opened a chocolate store. Well, you know me, I love that. That's my favorite. What? Well, I'll have caramel, and you'll get the, oh, you like the kind of brown hairy ball and the brown stuff. What do you mean, what am I talking about? I'm talking about the brown hairy ball kind that you like. You like the brown hairy ball. Do you speak English? Honest to God, get what you want. I don't give a shit. I mean, whatever. I won't start arguing about this. Huh? Well, no, I'll call her and see if she wants to come. That's fine. What? The vacation pictures? Oh, about on the boat? Yeah, I'll bring them. Wait till you see yourself in that bathing suit. Well, honey, you look like a cow. No, I'm telling you, your butt cheek is hanging out so bad. I mean, it looks, you must have put on, what, 30 pounds? I mean, you're eating too many of the brown hairy ball things. That's what's going on. I mean, that's all I can tell you about it, because you got to be sucking them down because the way it's coming. Well, if you don't like looking the way you look, you should do something about it. That's what I say. Well, listen, do you want to get together? You're going to get an attitude. Well, then I'll see you there too. That's fine. I don't know why you're so stirred up. You're the one eating. All right, then. Shit. I mean, I don't know what her problem is. Lord, she gets an attitude. Now, let me think here. Oh. A dirty cup. A coffee cup. Now, I told my son that I was fairly sure that gypsies were coming in here at night and making coffee, drinking my coffee, and leaving dirty dishes, because I've never left a dirty dish in my life. And here it sits, a dirty coffee cup, partially drunk out of. I'll guarantee this has their prominence all over it. And I better go check the bathroom, because sure, when they get in here and get that, they'll steal toilet paper, too. They always steal toilet paper. Look at that. See, the roll's empty again. They come in here, and he thinks I'm not nuts, because I saw that it's gone. Well, I'm going to go down to the corner store here and get some toilet paper, because there's nothing worse than constipation, and you got to go, and there's no toilet paper. You got to have some. So I go down to the corner store, and I pick up a few things that I need, because I know there's some things I need. And I come back, and I go to put them in the fridge and such. And there's another quart of milk in there. Well, I wonder who brought that by. I don't know when they brought that. Well, good. I can make use of it. It'll be fine. And let me go put this toilet paper up. You know, I'm not going to put it in here, because sure as hell they'll steal it just like they stole the other stuff. I'm going to go put this in the spare bedroom closet, because they won't think to look there. Okay, here we go. Oh, my God. This is where they're keeping it until they can bring a truck to come pick it up. There's got to be 30 rolls right there. I'm going to hide it under the bed. They won't know where to look for it. At 10 minutes after 2, the telephone rings. Hello? Well, hi there. How are you? What do you mean, where am I? I'm at home. Where are you? Well, what are you doing at the mall? Well, if you wanted me to come to the mall, you should have called me. I can't read your mind. What do you mean you did? Who'd you talk to? No, I didn't talk to you. I don't remember if I'd talked to you. I hadn't talked to you in, I don't know, a month or so. You did not call me. Maybe you called the other one. Listen, I mean, I hate saying this because I hate even bringing it up, but I think you best go see the doctor because I think you may have that dementia they talk about because I think you're all turned around, sweetheart. All right, well, bye-bye.
Okay, over here. Attitude. Did you notice she had one? About just about everything. Yeah. So a lot more hostility, a lot more confrontational. So you'll find that. Difference between not normal and normal. Confrontational attitude. Something else? Back here in the blue. Lack of inhibition. One of the first things that goes is our filter. And it's our filter for language, inappropriate, appropriate language, kind of what you said, the hostility, she no longer cares whether her friend, she's hostile to her friend. Okay?
Blaming someone else.
Blaming, doesn't realize that it's herself that's been doing all these things, doesn't remember doing them, doesn't have the clue when the phone rings at 2. Most of us in normal aging would say, oh, I was supposed to be at the mall at 2. She had no memory of the phone call or going to the mall. So normal is with a hint, oh, I was supposed to be there. Oh, I was supposed to call my friend. And it doesn't come back to us. A little paranoid. There are about 80 to 90 different dementias. Dementia is the overall term, and there are about 80 to 90 different kinds, and they come with different symptoms. So one of the symptoms in one kind is paranoia. The people are coming, the gypsies are coming, they're stealing the toilet paper and they're hiding it till they can come take it all. Okay? They're drinking their coffee. Anybody else? Did you notice the difference in the way she walked? First one, she has a normal gait. Next one, she's kind of shuffling. Okay? So normal gait. Even when she's reminded of Betty, here's Betty's voice. It doesn't click. Oh, this is a friend. What's her name? It starts with B. No clue. No clue that that's Betty on the phone. Okay? Difference between normal and not normal. You get a clue when it's normal and you say, oh yeah, it's my friend Betty. When no clue reminds you that that was your friend. Did she ever get back to the original idea of coffee? Not even seeing the coffee cup. That should have been the clue that said, oh, that's right, I was getting coffee. She never did remember the coffee at all. She got distracted, went to the store, stocked up on toilet paper, all of that. Bought more of things she already had. She found she has a cupboard full of toilet paper and she has multiple gallons of milk. That's one of the clues. You come home and you've already got lots of that at home. Might be a clue. Someone raised their hand, this gentleman.
Well, impaired ability to think ahead and establish a logical order for doing things.
Okay, logical every way. She didn't come up with a logical reason for the toilet paper being gone or the coffee cup. In normal aging, you'd say, oh, I probably forgot that there when I went to bed last night. Or, oh, I'm just out of toilet paper. Instead, she doesn't come up with a logical reason. She comes up with gypsies. Not so much logical. Her rudeness with her friends. She lost her filter. She no longer has a problem telling them they're fat. You know, the first time she covered it up and laughs. The next time she just tells them. And she tells quite a few times, you're fat, you're eating too much of the hairy ball stuff. She persists, okay? Did you notice her language change? Shit, darn, all of that. Not before, but once she started. So those are symptoms you might notice among yourself, your friends, your family. That may tell you when you're slipping from normal aging to not normal aging. Okay, so dementia. It's a chemical as well as a physical change. It is not just one. Your brain is chemically changing and it's physically changing. That explains partially why you may have good days and not good days. Depending on how the chemicals are running in your brain determines how you're going to be that day. This is what I was telling you about. There's 80 to 90 different types of dementia under this umbrella. We've heard of Alzheimer's, we've heard of vascular, we've heard of Lewy body, many of them, but there are many, many types of dementia. Many with different symptoms. Okay, one of the first things people ask us in the Neurological Resource Center is, what do we do? If you suspect something, the first thing you do is go get checked by your doctor. The reason for that is there's many things that mimic dementia. Okay, you can have medication reactions. You can have a UTI, urinary tract infection, often mimics dementia. You can have stress. Stress can act like dementia if you have too much stress going on in your life. So if you're suspecting yourself or your friends or your husband, first thing to do is get checked by a doctor. They will check those other reasons first. Should have these reversed, huh? It does not want to change. Oh, well, I'll just tell you the rest. Oh, I've got a clicker. I've got a clicker. Could I have dementia? They even let me try it before. Okay. Sad but true. It changes everything over time. The person cannot control it. They cannot try harder. They cannot pay more attention. When they have dementia, they cannot control it. It's not the same for every person. The way you act when you have dementia will not necessarily be the way I act when I have it. It is not a mental illness. Many people come in thinking that their person has mental illness. It is not a mental illness. It is real, and it will be very hard at times. It could last from 8 to 12 years, so it can wear you out. It can wear the family out, but it's real. The person can't help it, and it's going to happen. Okay, the reason I show this one is on the left you'll see two normal brains. The next one is they have early stage dementia. Do you notice how much? Notice less red, more purple. The next one, late stage. Look at the color loss. This is the person who's doing something actively with their brain, and this is what it looks like when they record it. And then look at the comparison to a child. They are not a child, but their brain has changed that much. The bottom is just another part of the brain, and the same thing happens. All that color at the beginning till we're mostly blue. And you'll lose, with dementia, you lose 2/3 of your brain size. Pretty shocking. Part of why it doesn't look that way up here, 2/3 different, is a lot of it is on the inside. Things that were little tiny holes before have gotten to be big holes. Okay? It's also darker because that's old blood that the brain no longer can clean out, and it just clogs up the works. So, I hope Let's see some hands. Do you think now that you could see a lot of differences between a normally aging brain and a not normally aging brain? Good. There are a lot of obvious differences. We should take great comfort because when we're forgetting names and we're doing some of that, that's absolutely normal and we can feel very good about it. Okay? But we also should be able to look at ourselves and our partners and see what is not normal. Karen?
Right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
How's everybody doing? Our senses change as we age. For example, we need glasses. Some of us need hearing aids. Can affect the way we smell, the way we taste. And for those with Alzheimer's or dementia, it really does impact their senses because their brains are dying. As Sue said, your brains are shrinking. So that's going to naturally impact your senses. So for people with Alzheimer's and dementia, vision is very, very important. Let me go back to one thing about hearing. For hearing, people with Alzheimer's and dementia are not necessarily hard of hearing. Some may be, but not all are. But caregivers are often yelling at their person as if that's going to help them to understand. And the problem really isn't with hearing, it's with the comprehension of the words and the content. So visual input is really important for people with dementia. So there are a couple of different zones. So if you're 20 years old, 25 years old, and you go like this, you have 180 degrees of vision. This is your peripheral vision. This is the safety vision. If you take it in a little bit further, this is your actual line of sight vision if you're 20 to 25 and you're not under stress. So as we get older, when you're about 75, it comes in about this far. And so this is your peripheral vision at about 75. So it could lead to things anywhere from 50, 60, 75, where you don't see what's on the outside, so you might trip and fall. That's when people with normal aging might break a wrist, fall and break their hip. Things like that can happen as a result of normal aging because the ability to see your peripheral vision is limited. That's normal. So for somebody with early stage dementia, it's even smaller. So this becomes early stage. This becomes what they see. How many of you have thought about sight impacting somebody with dementia? I mean, we don't normally think about that, but it's really, really important that we do. This space here for all of us is like the curiosity space of vision. So somebody with early stage dementia, as I said, their safety and awareness has gotten much smaller. So let's do a little exercise here with the person sitting next to you. People with early stage dementia have what TIPA calls scuba vision. So go ahead and say scuba vision, and one of the two people next to each other, put on your scuba masks and turn to the person next to you. Now, the person next to you should get right into your face and say something like, hello, or can I help you? Right in your face. Well, you've got the scuba up. Just go ahead and try that for a minute. So how does that feel? How does that feel? Anybody want to share their experience? When you have somebody right there close to you and you have your scuba vision on, any reactions about how you felt in that moment? Right, she said you're invading their space and that's scary. Anything else? Go ahead. Claustrophobic. Right. So we don't like it when people are right there in our face. It feels like it's a confrontation, right? And we don't like that. That's our personal or intimate space. This area right here, between as far as we can put our arms out is our intimate and personal space. So we don't want somebody, it feels like right in our face. So let's try another one. So with middle stage dementia, their area of vision gets even smaller. So now it's going to be binoculars. So let's try that again. One of you do binoculars, and this, how about let's do this. Everybody put on the binoculars. Everybody put on the binoculars, and then look at your lap. And then with the binoculars on, look at the person in front of you. Just look at the back of the person in front of you. Now, can you do both of those things at the same time? Can you see your lap and the person in front of you? Okay, so that's impossible for the person with mid-stage dementia to do both of those things. They are either having to do the task before them, right in front of them, their dinner plate or, whatever they're trying to do in terms of personal care. They can't attend to that and look at you at the same time. It's either or. And transitioning back and forth from one to the other can be very, very hard and challenging and confusing to that person. How did that feel when you did it? Had the binoculars on and you're trying to do that? Thoughts? Feelings? Right. It is sad that they can't see more around them. And like I said earlier, we just don't think about that when we think about brain changes. So, right, so as Sue was sharing, the brain really changes. And just to let you know that this is a 1-hour presentation on this topic, and then we usually do a 2-hour presentation. And if we had done that, you would see where there are really the changes in the part of the brain that controls vision. The whole brain is shrinking and literally dying, and so it does impact vision. No, the person with Alzheimer's or dementia doesn't know that. They're not self-aware. Yes? Yeah, I'm so glad you said that because I had made a note to myself about that. And, we don't think about that. We get worried about the person's feelings because we don't want to hurt their feelings and tell them they can't drive anymore. Well, do you want somebody driving like this? Not so much. Not so much. So it's a new way to think about it, and it's really, really important. And I think it will make it easier for us to have those conversations with family members and to decide that our loved one with Alzheimer's or dementia should not be driving.
Sharon?
Yes, ma'am?
Teepa says it's because it's not that they physically can't always see it, they can't process it.
Right, good point.
They may see it out there, but their wiring is so gone in their brain, they can't process what's happening out here.
Right. That's, again, similar to the binoculars and being able to track, what's happening in front of them with the task. I mean, making those changes, the processing is really difficult. Bob? Right. That does happen where, you can hear the volume of the other person, but you don't get all of their words. So it's a very, very confusing place to be. So one of the things we talked about that I mentioned was personal space. So that goes along with vision. Well, let's go back. So public space is vision. We see each other, we wave to each other. And then personal space is when we're close enough to talk with each other. And then intimate space is where we're close enough to touch each other. So there's these three different levels. And the positive approach to care philosophy has what's called the positive physical approach and hand under hand. And that's the second presentation in TIPA's series. And Sue Pinard and Kathy Manderbach are actually going to be doing that presentation on Thursday night at Fieldstone Memory Care in Kennewick. So if any of you are actually caregiving now and want to learn what some of those skills are, you should call Fieldstone and go to that on Thursday night at the Memory Care Center there, because it really can change, the experience for both people. So it is at 575 North Young Street in Kennewick. It's pretty close to United Way in Kennewick. Yes? You know, some people do recognize it, and, you know, often other people recognize it first. It's a variety of things. It is about 8 to 12 years. So, and it really is a very gradual process. Yeah, some people realize it in the beginning, you know, something is really wrong. Why did I put the car keys in the freezer? You know, and
15 years before you'll recognize symptoms of it.
yeah, so people's brains can be changing many, many years before the symptoms are obvious. That's very true. Yes?
Next in the 8 to 12 years, what are you talking about?
So that's typical for the duration of Alzheimer's disease or dementia. So it can go from about the time of diagnosis to the time they pass away. 8 to 12 years is typical. Yes?
I've been reading on this because I've got some friends in that, and it's said too, by the time you get, if you ever get to it, you always talk about longevity. By the time you get to 85% of us put you in the same position.
That's true. The older we all get, the greater the likelihood is that we will develop Alzheimer's or dementia. That's very true. That's very true. Yes?
Yeah, I've just been diagnosed here a short time ago with Parkinson's. How does it relate to this?
So for some people with Parkinson's, there can be some dementia too. Not for everyone, but for some people, there's like Parkinsonian dementia that is with it.
What's the identification of that?
Well, that your doctor would be able to help you determine that.
Okay.
But that everyone with Parkinson's does not get dementia, but some people do.
Now, let's talk about the shuffling gait.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the person with Alzheimer's or dementia, their brain is dying. And what that means is they cannot change. They can't do anything about it. It's out of their control. But we can. The caregivers can change. And so when I mentioned the positive physical approach and hand under hand, I mean, that really is an amazing thing, because this whole positive approach to care is a relational approach to dementia care that gives the hands-on skills, like in this next series, that really improves the quality of life for the person with dementia and the caregiver. Because you know how we talked earlier with the scuba glasses, and you know it feels confrontational. Often people with dementia, you know, will fight, you know, because they're, you know, fright, fight, flight. I mean, they're experiencing that, and the positive physical approach and hand under hand can give you tools to cope with that more effectively, so that behavior doesn't occur. So while this is great information, this is just a little bit, and we have so much more to share that really can change the course of the disease for both people, which is what we want. That's what Teepa wanted. That's why she has done all of these videos. We had her at the Neurological Resource Center over the last 12 years we were talking about earlier, I think 3 different times. And I can remember thinking, wow, this is one person with all this knowledge. I want everybody to know this. Because as that gentleman in the back said, it's really going to impact us, either as a person with dementia or caring for somebody with dementia. And so that's why Teepa developed the certification and training program so that a lot more people could be trained to share this information. So we feel very honored to be able to share this with you. So if you are someone that's caring for somebody with Alzheimer's or dementia, it's really, really important to take care of yourself. And it's really vitally important to get educated about the disorder that the person has and about what you can do to make yourself better equipped to deal with it. So there are several things you can do. You can come to the Neurological Resource Center, come to the library and stop in and chat with us, and we can help connect you with local resources. We have a variety of other educational programs. The Alzheimer's Association does a series with us every year. We have our neurotransmitter out in the lobby, and you can sign up to receive that if you don't already. And that has a lot of different educational programs because you really do need to educate yourself. And we have a Prescription for Caregivers series this year, and the first in that series is going to be Wendy Lusbader. And she's going to talk about caregiving and the spirit. And she's a really amazing woman as well. She's a social worker in Seattle, and she is a very entertaining presenter and a wealth of knowledge. And so that's going to be June 28th from 5:30 to 8 o'clock, and that's going to be at Richland Community Center. And we do have postcards at our table in the lobby if you're interested in going to that. Save the date for June 28th. And I really want to thank Healthy Ages for inviting us here because we don't normally present to 250 people. We usually present to much smaller audiences. So thank you for having us, and thank all of you for taking the time out of your day to be here.